Now, I always obsess around productivity. I'm always thinking through how can I get the absolute most out of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually, and how can I maximize every second of my day. I really obsess over this stuff. And so I think to myself, well, why is some people's productivity terrible? Now, there's a lot of content on this topic. So I want to try and give you something that I feel is less spoken about, or I certainly don't see as much content about out there in the ether. And it's really the premise of actually working on something versus working in something. And especially when you're a business owner, even if you're a sales leader or a salesperson, one of the things I used to get caught up on is I was always working in whatever I was doing. So if I'm a salesperson, I'm, out there in the field trying to chase a deal down, or as an entrepreneur, you're on the laptop and you're trying to figure out your next steps, engaging with clients, sending proposals. Now, all of this is, of course, a staple part of what you need to do to drive an outcome. But the big issue with this is I don't see enough people carving out intentional time to work on their business, or as a salesperson or sales leader to work on their campaigns. And the difference between that is, instead of being in the trenches, putting together your proposals, you need some time to say, okay, let me look at my entire day and my entire week, right? How is my time distributed? How is my energy distributed? How is my mind share distributed across the day and the week, right? Where are the biggest inputs of energy? Where are the biggest inputs of time? Where is the highest impact and the highest leverage? Where is the lowest impact and the lowest leverage? And you need to create a matrix around this, right? And where there's activities that are, for example, very high on time but low impact, these are things that you should either be automating or delegating in some way. But you only want to be focused on the activities and the tasks that are high impact for your business and they require your mind share, right? Because that's where you really need to be spending your time. But if you don't take any windows of time to zoom out, to actually do these types of audits, you'll never know. And so what happens is people just get up in this day to day, they're like on a hamster wheel, because they're just going through every second, going from one task to the next task to the next task, go to sleep, rinse and repeat, doing that every single week. They're then either burning out or they're actually being way less effective than they could be, because they're not taking any time to work on their business or to work on their campaigns to figure out how they can better distribute their time. And actually, by taking the time to work on all of this, you'll then claw back much more time, which will then allow you to gain more productivity, because you can redistribute that time to high impact activities. So what I'm encouraging you to do, just as a starting point, is even start with 1 hour per week. Ideally a couple of hours, but even start with 1 hour per week and protect that time with everything and say, I'm doing nothing else in this hour. Everything else is turned off. And I'm just going to do an audit of my week and do an audit of my day and figure out time distribution and energy distribution. Once you've done that, start to play around with it and make sure that your time and energy is going to where you have the most leverage. And where it's not having much leverage, you look at where can you automate, where can you delegate, or where can you offset or delay. These are all tools and options that you have to, again, reclaim time, reclaim energy, and put yourself in a position where you can actually be on the front foot for either your business or your campaigns or your team. It's so important, and I honestly don't see enough people doing it, and it really cannibalizes productivity. So I hope that this public service announcement has been helpful in some way, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.